Now it's time for Toker Talk Radio, the voice of the marijuana nation.
What are you people? On dope?
Where you can toke.
I inhale frequently.
Or you can talk.
I experimented with marijuana and didn't inhale.
Or you can toke and talk.
10 federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
While we talk about toke on Toker Talk Radio.
So, by the way, when it comes to pot, if you're 40 years old, you live in a log cabin in Oregon, you got 12 giant pot plants in your backyard, have a ball.
Live from beautiful Portland, Oregon at Rolla J Studios.
Hey, this is great. Just not cannabis.
Plus your calls live at 971-533-7111.
They're walking on their pants with their cap on backwards, listening to Enema Man and Snoopy Poop Dog.
What's to keep somebody from getting all potted up on weed and then getting behind the wheel? Gateway theory doesn't work. It's a reality.
Holland, is it real? Don't tease me.
We're locking up people that take a couple of puffs of marijuana, and the next thing you know, they got 10 years.
And now, here's your host, the guru of ganja graphics, the sultan of sativa statistics, and the worst nightmare of a reefer mad prohibitionist. A polite, perspicacious, productive pothead with a propensity for PowerPoint. Radical, Russ Belville.
All right, welcome back, everyone. It's 4:02 in the Pacific Time Zone. Time for Toker Talk Radio. Coming to you live from Portland, Oregon, where we are in the grips of Snowvember. Yes, the dreaded Snowvember. So yesterday, there was the big warning. Snowvember is here. Predicted temperatures below freezing. Chance of precipitation approaching 100%. Portland, Oregon might get snow. My wife told me this the other day. There's gonna be snow tomorrow. I'm gonna take the bus. I'm gonna take the bus to work. It's gonna be snow. It's gonna be awful. They're saying it's gonna be terrible. And I said to her, as I say almost every time this year, I'll believe it when I see it. And once again, my pessimism has proven correct. Snowvember today. Last I checked, the temperature was 37 degrees and there was a little bit of rain on the road. There's no Snowvember here. But it's amazing how just the mere threat of a flake on the ground causes this city to grind to a halt. It's amazing, folks. The list of school closings was multiple scrolls down. It was multiple screens long. Yeah, they closed school today in Oregon. Last one I saw was Multnomah University. I think it's a Bible college. The Portland Public Schools, I think, was on the list. There was a bunch of them on the list. Just about everybody in the area closed school. Universities, too. For rain, people. Cold, windy rain is what we closed for. And the threat that it might become freezing rain or snow. So I know my listeners in Minneapolis and Chicago and Buffalo and Cleveland and Maine and Vermont, they're just chuckling, I'm sure. But it's amazing. It'll just shut this city down. You just merely threaten to have any sort of snow here. Just amazing. All right. Coming up on hour 2 today in Toker Talk Radio, all sorts of really cool stuff. The holidays are coming up. And so pot shops in Colorado are getting ready for Black Friday. The day after Thanksgiving. Everybody's got the day off for the most part. A lot of people do, I should say. And it's traditionally the big shopping day. Well, it's going to be a big shopping day for weed as well. We'll tell you all about that in the next segment. Also on the show, Chuck Diesel will be calling in, and we got some Groovin' Thursday daily Toker tunes for you, so we can get our hip-hop groove on. Get ready for that at 20 after the hour. Also on the show today, we have got Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong, who's in Dancing with the Stars right now. We've got some video of him on Dancing with the Stars, a clip, and a great discussion in Ladybud magazine online about how Tommy Chong is bringing one woman's 60-something mother around on the topic of marijuana. So good on you, Tommy Chong. I personally can't watch Dancing with the Stars, but good on you. Also, some really interesting video came across my Facebook page today. I wanted to share with everyone else. From 1956, when the government was doing tests on LSD, we've got a 1956 housewife on acid. That'll be fun. And we'll end up things today. We've got a case in Michigan that highlights another absurdity about a medical marijuana law. Stay tuned for that. Got questions? Go ahead and bring them up in the chat room. Currently got a question from Electric Bob asking, are you doing a show on Black Friday? No, we will have Thanksgiving and the day after Thanksgiving off here on 420 Radio. We also have the week of starting Christmas and running all the way through the first Monday of January is our vacation time. So there'll be no Christmas week new shows. You can check out the schedule at 420radio.org/schedule. I've updated it for what days are going to be replay days. So you won't be trying to tune in looking for a live show if there's no live show here. I do as many shows as I can. This is show number 489. So let's see. Come Thanksgiving or 1st of December, somewhere around there, we're going to have show number 500 of the independent Russ Belville show. Can't believe it. 500 shows. Thank you all so much for being a part of that. Donate if you can to help me keep going. It's at 420radio.org/donate.
The beginning of the end started in 1996 when California legalized weed for so-called medical purposes. 16 years later, Washington and Colorado legalized it outright and let people sell it from storefronts. And what has been the result?
The generation of millions of dollars in tax revenue for the states and creation of hundreds of new jobs in a growing multi-billion-dollar industry?
No. Well, yes, but at what cost?
Let's see. The cost of all that police time and money that's now spent going after real criminals and prisons with enough room to hold them all?
No. Well, yes, but look at what it's done to the people.
You mean that fewer of them are dying of alcohol, tobacco, and prescription-related causes since they've switched to cannabis, and many more are receiving medical benefit from a cheap, non-toxic healing herb?
No. Well, yes to all of that, but I can smell pot from my backyard. And I can't tell my kids not to do it because it's illegal.
420 Radio, turning red states and blue states green.
Hey, what's up? This is Killer Mike, one half of Run the Jewels, and I'm telling you, November 23rd through 27th, you need to be at Cannabis Cup. I did it last year, and I got so high, I can tell you what color Jesus' furniture is. I got so high, I kissed the sky twice. I got so much enlightenment, I know Buddha's last name. Do you feel what I'm telling you right now? The people are great. You don't have to search or call your sketch-ass dealer who won't call you back. You don't have to go lurking through the hood to find good smoke. You need to get out of the country. You've been sitting on your block too long smoking weed. Get out and have an adventure. See you at Cannabis Cup, November 23rd through 27th. Yeah.
High Times presents Free Weed from Danny Danko from Brooklyn, New York. Replaying Wednesdays at 1 Pacific on 420radio.org.
Hey, this is Willie Nelson for Normal. And I smoke pot and I like it a lot. I learned a long time ago that marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol. There's nothing wrong with the responsible use of marijuana by adults. It's time we stopped arresting and started respecting those who smoke marijuana responsibly. To learn what you can do to help, contact NORML at NORML.org or call toll-free 888-67-NORMAL.
It's just me. Yeah. At the end of the day, dog. It's just me. The only one that get my dirt done and make my legs run underneath the hot sun. Just me, a motivating, dedicating, state hopping, trouble bubble popper who be all the time dropping. Just me, a piggy bank breaker, a non-front faker, an old'em leaf raker. All along it's just me, a green thumb grower that can own a snow blower. For the winter storm warning on the watch, just me, a man with the fam and the plan, driving all across the land.
Oh yeah, that's the Dirt Ball. My favorite rapper. My favorite modern rapper. My favorite new modern rapper from Oregon. I gotta narrow that down a bit. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I love Chuck D. can't dismiss Chuck D. All right, that's the Dirt Ball with Just Me. He's now a member of the Cottonmouth Kings, but also a great solo artist. I got all his albums. Love every one of them. Welcome back to the show. It's just about 11 after. And have you ever shopped on Black Friday? Well, have you ever shopped on Black Friday on weed? Yeah, Colorado's approaching the first Black Friday with legal marijuana sales. And I suppose Washington is as well. Black Friday, of course, the day after Thanksgiving. Coming up here in the United States on Friday the 28th. So let's see, 490. Yeah, actually, my 500th show will be December 2nd, if I'm looking at the calendar correctly. Anyway, KRDO.com in Colorado is reporting that pot shops trying again on the Denver marketing effort. Now, we mentioned a story just the other day about how these Denver pot shops on South Broadway Avenue in Denver, which is redundant, right? Denver pot shops on South. Okay. Anyway, these dispensaries along South Broadway, there's a few of them, were wanting to band together with these antique stores that are on the same road and have a marketing blitz campaign called The Green Mile. Come shop The Green Mile. And they got an earful from these antique people who didn't like pot shops so much, these antique shops owners, complaining about the long-haired, stinky people that touch everything and don't buy anything and blah, 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 right? Well, there's a new little wrinkle in this that I hadn't even considered about this, is KRDO reports that these dispensaries are hoping that by branding the entire area, they'll be able to skirt advertising restrictions on the marijuana industry. Pot shops aren't allowed to advertise on billboards or on radio or TV, and Denver International Airport won't permit them to advertise. So, that's interesting. The whole idea, let's be Green Row, is pot shops trying to integrate with mainstream businesses to catch an advertising wave. So in an interesting kind of unintended consequence, and a good one if you ask me, of banning the pot shops from advertising is forcing them to integrate more tightly with the mainstream. How interesting is that? And how might that lead to pot shops branding with, tourisms and tours and hotels and restaurants and other industries that might be a natural fit? I think it's ridiculous personally that when you can drive around Denver and see Coors Field, for God's sake, that you can't have a pot shop billboard. That seems ridiculous to me. And where everywhere you drive, you see beer billboards. Hell, there's even liquor billboards now. I've always believed, and I've reiterated this on the show numerous times, this is about equality. We deserve the same equal rights as beer drinkers and cigar smokers. And if they can have billboards, why can't we have billboards? Any argument you make for why legal marijuana shouldn't be on a billboard is a better argument for why legal beer shouldn't be on a billboard. Now, if we're going to have advertising restrictions because of what about the children, I believe reasonable people can come to a consensus on it. I believe that we can find ways that we can, or places where we can agree that it's inappropriate. I don't think, for example, Budweiser ought to be sponsoring backboards on school basketball hoops. Nah, they're not, right? But I remember as a kid back in Idaho seeing backboards with Sprite, Coca-Cola product, Sprite backboards at my school. right? So if we're going to talk about what's appropriate to be seen by kids and whether or not we should be marketing and advertising toward children, then whatever we apply to marijuana ought to apply to beer, and whatever we apply to beer ought to apply to marijuana. Especially given the scientific fact that you're stifling the promotion of something that's safer. And this is a stigma that's going to take a long time to get over, is people not understanding that now these two substances are legal. There's no reason why either one of them should be demonized other than by its scientifically demonstrable effects. And by that judgment, alcohol loses. But there was another angle to this as well, and the Cannabist reported on this one. And it's a Black Friday sale. And this one's going on at the Grass Station. It's a recreational pot shop. Black Friday sales start at 8 a.m. November 28th, 29th, and 30th. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the Cannabist asks, what will be their equivalent to Walmart's dirt cheap flat screen TVs? Grass Station owner Ryan Fox says, quote, it'll definitely be the $50 ounces. That's right, folks. $50 an ounce for 3 days, 3 weekend days on Black Friday at the Grass Station in Denver. $50 an ounce. He continues, quote, right now our cheapest ounce is $2.50, and some of those ounces in the $2.50 to $3.25 range will be selling for $50 an ounce on that weekend. And supplies will be limited, first come, first serve kind of thing. Here's the list of what they'll be selling there at the Grass Station in Denver on Black Friday. $1 joints and cones. They'll sell 60 a day. $5 grams of flour. They'll sell 10 $5 grams per day. $10 eighths of flour. They'll sell 8 of those per day. $50 ounces of flour, normally priced $2.50 to $3.25, will sell for $50. 16 of those. $2 10 milligram edibles, single serve edibles, will sell until they're out. And he says we're well stocked on these. $2 for a 10 milligram edible, and he doesn't anticipate selling out of them. $15 150 milligram open vape pen cartridges. These aren't the same brand, but cartridges. These little screw off cartridges that you get. I use the O2 company here in Oregon, but vape pen cartridges with 150 milligrams normally sell for $30. And says will not be selling out of those. We're very well stocked. $20 grams of concentrate. 5 grams of those will be sold a day. That's of wax, $20 grams of wax, and $25 grams of shatter. 5 grams per day will be sold. So, will there be lines? I mean, people going to camp out for this? I'll bet they do. I'll tell you what, I'd camp out for the $15 vape pen cartridges. That's a nice deal. Get stocked up on those. Get a dozen or so. They make great stocking stuffers. Oh my goodness. I'm really excited that the more legalization continues on, the more it takes on typical consumer aspects, Black Friday sales, advertising controversies. This is all so good. And as people across the country are exposed to these stories and they see them replayed on their evening news, it becomes harder and harder for them to justify why they're continuing to prohibit it. It becomes so normal. It becomes so routine and mundane and familiar. It becomes familiar. Oh, Black Friday, yeah, like at Walmart. It becomes something that makes it so easily identifiable as just another thing, just something else that happens. Not a crime, not the devil's drug, not people going crazy or nuts or losing IQ points or whatever the fear may be. I think people are beginning to understand that marijuana is here. It's here. It's no longer the question of whether or not we're going to stop people from smoking it, whether we're going to stop people from growing it, and whether we're going to stop people from selling it. That's pretty much settled. We tried for 40 years under the barrel of a gun to make it stop, and we couldn't. I think people are resigned to that reality now. And they're understanding it's a whole lot better idea to maybe make some tax revenue off of this.
Hey, bud. Let's party.
So glad that one came up. Flipping through IFC on the cable the other night, and Fast Times at Ridgemont High was showing. Had to watch it. Had to show my wife what is the most iconic bare breast scene in American cinema. Of course, I'm speaking of Phoebe Cates in the swimming pool. And every man listening to this of heterosexual variety completely agrees with me. We'll be right back with Chuck Diesel. 420 Radio. Tune in, turn on, get high.
Приветствую. Меня зовут Дани Денько. Мы от журнала High Times приглашаем вас в Амстердам с 23 до 27 ноября, чтобы вместить ежегодный турнир Cannabis Cup, уже 27-й по счету. Там мы сравним множество будов марихуаны и гашиша из местных кофешопов. Еще у нас там выставка товаров, семинары по выращиванию, ночные концерты и вручение премии за лучшие в мире сорта марихуаны. Билеты можно купить на сайте cannabiscup.com. Ждем вас!
There's so much I worry about as a mom. Stephen Harper thinks that organized crime should continue to profit from marijuana prohibition. Imagine regulating marijuana like alcohol and cigarettes with a strong and clear educational message, making it more difficult for my kids and your kids to access. Drug dealers don't ask for ID. Stephen Harper does not have the kind of judgment we need to protect our children, authorized by the Normal Women's Alliance of Canada.
Hey Tokers and Tokettes, Radical Russ here for the Canador, a practical solution to keep herbs from drying. The Canador is the perfect airtight storage system for your fine herbs, from the half-inch thick walnut and cherry wood construction, clear top perforated jars for storage, and the humidity bead system that keeps your herbs at a perfect 65% relative humidity. I keep all my herbs in the Canador, and you should too. Check out Canador.com for more information.
Everyone knows music and marijuana go together, so let's wind up our 20 after break with the Russ Belville Show's Daily Toker Tunes, the best in pod-safe 420 music from around the web. Today is Groovin' Thursday, featuring rap, hip-hop, soul, and funk music. Now, sit back and enjoy your Daily Toker Tunes.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's 23 after the hour, and we got Chuck Diesel on the phone. How you doing, Chuck? Chuck, are you there? Well, hello, Chuck. Can you hear me?
No, this is not Chuck.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Let me put you on hold, back on hold for a second. Was looking for Chuck, but we'll get to you right after this break. Here comes Chuck on the phone. I knew he'd be calling in. Chuck, are you there?
Yeah, how's it going, Russ?
Hey, Chuck, good to hear from you, man. I was just getting you on the line here. We've got another guy holding on the line, so we'll keep him while we talk to you, but glad to have you here. Are you surviving? Are you okay? I know it's November out there. You know, the snow apocalypse.
It's frigid out in the car today, you know?
What's that?
It's pretty chilly out in the car today. I always come out to the car so none of the coworkers hear me introing our Groovin' Thursday tune.
Right on. Yeah, the wind has been blowing, but you know, come on now, snowpocalypse. This is pretty sad.
I grew up in Eastern Washington, man, and to hear that they canceled school in Portland because it might get cold and snow was just absurd to me.
Yeah. I grew up in Nampa, Idaho. I think I got out of school once for snow my whole life. Once.
Yeah, man. I can remember nights where we'd get snow the night before and they'd pull everyone out and de-ice the roads, and by the morning there was no delay and we'd just be devastated. We'd stayed up till 2 playing video games.
Nope, we plowed it. You're going to school.
Exactly, and you don't have to be happy about it, but you're going.
That's right. That's right. All right, for our tune today, very, very familiar artists here, Wiz Khalifa and Currency. What you got for us?
Yeah, it's off a mixtape I was listening to on datpiff.com. It's In the Middle off of their Housewife mixtape, and it's a feel-good track. I was debating between that, and then I've got one for next week that's a little more political and in your face and thought provoking. This one is just a good one to roll a J2 and chill.
Right on, right on. Maybe we can get them to come out. You heard there's going to be a Portland Cannabis Cup. They've put it up on the web, cannabiscup.com/Portland sometime in July, I hear, and maybe we can get Wiz Khalifa out.
Yeah, I saw John post that, and hopefully they do. The musical acts have been kind of varying lately, from reggae to rock to some of the more jam band stuff. So we'll see what they bring to Portland.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get Herb Thrasher hooked up with the High Times planning people. He's got a lot of record industry contacts now up here in the Pacific Northwest. We could get a really good rock show, maybe.
Yeah, and I'm an eclectic. I think a lot of stoners are this way. I'm pretty eclectic. I love death metal. I love hip hop. I love reggae. So I'm down for whatever.
All right. Well, we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, let's enjoy our 420 break here with some Groovin' Thursday tunes from Wiz Khalifa and Currency. This is In the Middle, and thank you so much, Chuck Diesel.
Have a good one,
Chuck
Rob.
Diesel. We'll see you later.
Bit higher than 30,000 feet. Yeah, you know, we just drop. Bum, about right in the middle. It's the planes and the Taylor game. Yeah, turn it up some. And I'm fucking with the chronic, cause the chronic give me dopeness. Center of the camera focus. Once the car service doors open, I'm with a chick you only seen on magazine covers posing. I really know this bitch. I won't tell you I got it unless I can show you it. I'm not gonna tell you about it until I go through it. Formula 1 car code word for solo whip. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, I'm cool. We lit lights flipped up on the Porsche. The same model Tony escaped from the club in. When them haters try to knock him off, that's cold. Destroyer of the tracks, I am still a death stroke. You in the club line, obeying the dress code. I drive by, bitches making googly eyes. Google me mine, I do that music so beautifully, huh? Believe that, shit, nigga, retweet that. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop bombs. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop bombs. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop bombs. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop bombs. In the middle, we stay calm, we just drop.
Jets, Taylor gang, you know the slang. Bad hoes feeding me champagne. Show up smelling like weed on the plane. People cut their ass, but they don't say shit. Rep Taylor gang plus the planes, bitch. Polo socks, bad bitches dig them cause they know the flow so hot. They be at my shows hoping one day they can meet us and maybe we'll smoke. I ain't on no Hollywood shit. You sexy and know how to handle your weed, you probably could, bitch. Bong rip send us to Hong Kong trips. My life is a movie, stick to the script. Can tell that it's quality for it's lit. He is I and I am him. Some bitches, a lot of weed and gin. Tattoos cover half of my skin. Hoes scream Taylor gang out their roof, plus they love the Jets music. Yeah. Let me hear it.
420 Radio, the world's voice of marijuana legalization. Growing plants indoors can be a rewarding hobby, but electricity bills can go through the roof. Then you have to cool down all those big hot lights. It can drive a grower insane. With Lush LED lighting, you can solve many of these issues and double your rewards. Matt and his scientists have developed the perfect light for flowering plants with far less cost and heat. And the results? Very effective. Check out LushLEDlighting.com right now and tell them Radical Russ sent you. Professionals Against Prohibition, replaying Thursdays at 10 Pacific on 420radio.org.
The law offices of Omar Figueroa would like to remind you to stand up for your rights. If you are detained or arrested, treat law enforcement with respect and stand up for your rights by repeating, "I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search and seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to speak with my attorney." Please contact the law offices of Omar Figueroa at 415-489-0420 or 707-829-0215 or on the web at omarfigueroa.com.
DJ Ill Will.
Yeah, man. Let me spit something real to you. Yeah.
DJ Rockstar.
Just take a look at the way them diamonds glow. I know why you niggas hate. Know why you niggas hate. Hey, you know we get this throwing every way. Throwing every way. Throwing every way. And oh, they chase me down when I'm on the road. My face is known at every stage. Known at every stage.
Welcome back, everyone. 31 after the hour. That's more music from Wiz Khalifa with Timeless. And we've got an update. I want to thank the folks out at thestonedSociety.com. ThestonedSociety.com. Their Twitter handle is @StonedSociety, who are breaking the news about our guest from yesterday, Michel Deegans, the man behind the Mambo Social Club. According to the story in the Belgium courthouse today, the prosecutor's office has requested acquittance of punishment for 2 out of 3 board members of the Mambo Social Club. Mambo Social Club President Deegans heard suspension of punishment and was relieved by the request. They're still seeking acquittance of punishment for all board members so they can continue their operation. According to President Deegans, and we've got a picture of Michel Deegans now from the courthouse appearance. Let me see if I can switch cameras here, make that happen. And here we go. Oh, not going to do it that way, are you? All right, let's try that again. Specific area and switch, and then we'll go there. And it's not going to do what I want it to do. I hate it when that happens. All right. We'll just go the hard way. There we go. We'll get there the hard way. All right. So there's Michel Deegans from the Mambo Social Club, who spoke to reporters outside the courthouse in his trial. As we reported yesterday, he was caught with 1.1 kilograms of cannabis that he was transporting to his Mambo Social Club. And according to ministerial directive there, they allow people to basically have 3 grams in a plant. Now, there is an official statement from Deegans that reads, quote, "We have kept 100% to the ministerial directive and have operated as upstanding members of the community. That is evident from the many warm messages of support we have received from our neighbors and from the population of Hassel, to the city they're in. If we are convicted, we could be obliged to send our members, many of whom use cannabis as treatment for medical conditions like severe pain, multiple sclerosis, or cancer, back to the streets. We cannot imagine letting that happen and expect common sense and awareness of the cannabis directive from the court. To those who worry about youth access to cannabis, as we do, we point to every major study in Europe and North America, which shows conclusively that youth use rates of cannabis decrease with sensible regulation. That is one of the reasons we adopted the social club model." End quote. So, yes, thank you very much, all you folks out at the Stone Society, for getting that news to us. And especially very, very grateful that our guest from yesterday's show managed to avoid punishment, acquittance and suspension of punishment for the Mambo Social Club. Great news. All right, I also wanted to talk a little bit about marijuana mainstreaming. This has been a topic we revisit often here on the show. And right now there's a convention in Las Vegas, Nevada, marijuana convention. It is the Marijuana Business Conference and Expo, the 2nd annual. Now, last year they got 700 people registered in Vegas. This year, more than 2,500 people registered for the conference. Keynote speaker is Ben Cohen, the co-founder of Vermont-based Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream, and he'll also be helping to judge entrepreneurial pitches. So now we're getting our Vegas conferences, and we're getting, I guess, I don't know if Ben from Ben & Jerry's is that mainstream a corporate guy, but still, we're getting corporate people who aren't associated with marijuana per se coming out to speak at these events. At the international conference we had here in Portland, we had Andrew Sullivan. We had Representative Blumenauer. It's becoming more and more mainstream. Some of the conference sessions at this convention include proper grow light installations, how to handle HR challenges related to marijuana, how to access banking, and how to attract more female customers. Chris Walsh, the managing editor of Marijuana Business Media, said interest in the industry is off the charts and calls it the largest professional marijuana business conference ever staged. However, there's still one glitch at the very end of the story, and this is from USA Today. The last line of the story says, "Not everyone feels good about it, however. The hotel convention center that's hosting this week's conference has asked that its name not be mentioned. It's the hotel that shall not be named. We wouldn't want to sully its reputation amongst all the other hotels that feature problem gambling, prostitution, alcohol abuse, the occasional shooting of Tupac Shakur. I mean, we wouldn't want to have a bad rep if it got out that we were hosting a pot convention." Oh, man. That's just so insane. But it's still, we're making the baby steps. At least we've got the conventions. That's good news. Now, as we mentioned earlier, High Times has officially put up on cannabiscup.com/Portland their intention to have a Portland Cannabis Cup right here in July. You can bet your sweet Bippy will be there. Not only will we be here covering it, we will most likely have our volunteer passes. That's right. If you can help out at the 420 radio booth, you can get into the Cannabis Cup. Think about that, folks. Might have to make extra special requirements for this one, because I got a lot of friends here in town that might want some of those tickets too. Hey, another interesting bit of video that came across Facebook today. I wanted to share this one. It's pretty dang funny. The federal government, of course, Department of Defense, conducted tests on subjects using all sorts of drugs. In this case, this was LSD they were testing on us. And this video surfaced. It's been up for a while, but this just came across my desk recently, of a housewife from 1956. This is 1956 video on LSD at the VA hospital. And testing, again, from 1956. Check this out.
Here is part of an interview with the subject just before LSD is to be administered.
My husband is an employee here at the VA, and he told me that they were looking for normal people, and I volunteered.
I see. Do you feel you're normal?
I hope I'm normal. I think so.
Well, a little while back you took quite a series of psychological tests, and I can assure you that you're a very stable and well-balanced person as a result of the tests. And how do you feel about coming here and drinking this strange material?
I'm a little nervous, perhaps.
Well, I think that's normal. Well, I think it's time for you to have your lysergic acid. Drink this down, and we'll be back after a while and see how you're doing.
This is a glass of water, colorless, tasteless. It contains 100 gamma of LSD-25, 1/10 of a milligram, the equivalent of 1/600th of a grain. An ounce of this material will make 150,000 such doses. Let us observe the effect some 3 hours later.
Well, tell me.
Well, I just couldn't. I couldn't possibly tell you. It's here. Can't you feel it? This whole room. There's everything is in color, and I can feel the air. I can see it. I can see all the molecules. I'm part of it. Can't you see it?
I'm trying.
Oh, it's just like you're released, or you're free, or I don't know how I can tell you.
How do you feel inside?
Inside? I don't have any inside.
Is it all one?
It would be all one if you weren't here, and if nobody else. Yes, everything is one. You have nothing to do with it. I am one with what I am. I can see everything in color. Everything. You have to see the air. You can't believe it. And the dimensions and all the prisms and the rays and everything coming down through you and moving.
What does this all mean to you?
I've never seen such infinite beauty in my life. It's like a curtain or a spider web. Can you see it? It's right here in front of me, right now. Watch. No. Oh, good heavens. You know what went through me? It passed right through me.
Could you feel it?
Me? There isn't any me.
Is all this pleasant or unpleasant? Or aren't these the right words?
What seems pleasant or unpleasant? There isn't anything pleasant or unpleasant. It's too beautiful. It's how can you think it? I mean, can't you feel it? Everything is so beautiful and lovely and alive. You shouldn't say anything about anything not being. This is reality. This is. If you look right over there, are you looking? Can you?
Yes, what should I see?
I wish I could talk in Technicolor, or let you see. Can you? Did you say you can see it?
No, I can't quite see it. Tell me about it.
I can't tell you about it. If you can't see it, then you'll just never know it. I feel sorry for you.
Wow, what an interesting experiment from 1956. I'm Radical Russ. We're back here at Rolla J Studios, and let's go to our phone line where we've got a 425 area code hanging on the line very patiently. Thanks for waiting. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Great, Russ. Thanks for the flashback. Jeez.
I hope you enjoy that.
This is Ted Seaton up in Washington with Americana Week. I talked to you last week on election.
That's right. I remember.
Yeah, congrats on 91.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it feels good to be a part of the club, definitely. We've got the Pacific Northwest locked down now.
Yeah, for sure. We talked a little bit about our court date. It was supposed to be tomorrow, the 14th, and it got canceled due to the supposed snow that's going to happen, I guess.
The mystery snow.
Yeah, I think our attorney may be having issues getting there or something. I don't know. And
yeah,
so
I just stepped outside, and we do have a nice layer of kind of frozen rain all over the street. So it is actually getting slick out there now. So maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, she lives on the what is that? Is it 14? That's across from is it 84?
Yeah.
It goes along the gorge there, or
right,
Columbia.
Right. Yeah.
So I guess she's going to get hit pretty good. We're on western Washington, and we have to make the travel over there. But it's going to be rescheduled for the 21st at 1 p.m. in Kennewick.
Okay. Well, so that's what are we talking? A week from Friday?
Yeah, a week from tomorrow, and we're excited. There's some new case law that just came out last week with the state, I think Department of Ecology or the state, suing a county over their ban of biosolids, saying it was they were breaking state law. So we're kind of hoping that kind of follows along the lines of the bans with the counties and cities with marijuana.
Ah, yeah. Well, that's always interesting when you get a new decision that comes down in the middle of your trial that can change. A lot of times it can just change the whole outcome.
Yeah, because the last two cities that have, ruled, they just followed the Attorney General's opinion, and there wasn't really, much of an explanation, and everybody's kind of scratching their heads, that the opinion has so much weight to it. We're just trying to find something, that can, turn it into our benefit,
Yeah, and for folks that didn't catch us on the election night coverage, the basics of your story was it's another one of these towns trying to ban shops, and you've already got licensed for it, right?
Yeah, it's what we think it is just a stall tactic from the cities and the counties. This is their only leverage that they have is to throw these bans if they want to get more tax dollars out of the state.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I'm already hearing from pot shop owners that are saying it's going to be tough for them to break even this year with the amount of high taxes plus the federal taxes that don't let them deduct the typical business expenses. So boy, I hope that stuff gets worked out too, so that you don't end up out of the frying pan and into the fire, so to speak.
Right. 280E, what you talked about, the IRS is a killer, for the stores. And that was what created in 1982 for drug traffickers.
Yeah, for the cocaine kingpins. Yeah. So,
yeah, there's a lot of hurdles, and you guys will find that out as you implement your rules. It's a fun process, and the only thing I guess I could say to people that are going to get their license in Oregon and in Alaska and DC, doesn't have any problems, is to pick your location wisely.
Yeah, location matters a lot. You got to find out where you are 1,000 feet away from.
Right, then you have to, if you don't own your own property, you deal with people that are still closed-minded, and still, follow, they have other reasons too. I mean, there's, if their loan has any kind of SBA attached to it, Small Business Association or to it, then they might have issues federally with their loan, from what I understand. So that plays a role also when you go to a landlord or somebody that may lease you property. You have to look out for certain things,
Yeah, all sorts of consultants now that are popping up to help people with this stuff too. Now that there's been some roadmap as far as how to set up a pot shop in Washington, how to set one up in Colorado, we get more of these experts coming out that are just telling people how to do it without having to reinvent the wheel.
Right. One thing I found is that if you're anywhere around agriculture, it seems like you have a much tougher process of getting to where you want to be in a licensing. As far as getting your store up and going, it seems like anytime there's agricultural influence, or in that small town, or even if it's a big town or big county, those people seem to come out of the woodworks and really go after you.
Yeah, it certainly is, and we appreciate what you're doing, trying to make a stand here, and hopefully it goes your way as far as that new case decision and the trial that you'll be facing on the 21st. Keep us posted on that too. We'd like to know how it turns out.
Yeah, we want to be the first one, so yeah, wish us luck, and I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, man. Thanks for calling in,
All right.
and thanks for holding on.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we've got Tommy Chong on Dancing with the Stars and how that's bringing seniors around on the concept of marijuana use. Stick around.
And now, a message from former President George W. Bush to remind the American people of our responsibility in our nation's war on certain American citizens using non-pharmaceutical, non-alcoholic, tobacco-free drugs.
One major responsibility is to encourage people to use less drugs.
That's right, America, use less drugs. Put down the Prozac, the Vioxx, and the Levitra, and turn to the herb. Use less drugs. Our national policy is no longer just say no, it's now just slow down.
You get me too high. I overanalyze. If you've ever been too high, then you can sympathize. You get me too high. And I start to fly if I said some silly thing, and that's the reason why.
You can get 420 Radio on the go with our Shoutcast stream for all internet-enabled media players. Go to rad-r.us/420shout or just click the Shoutcast icon below the live radio feed at 420radio.org. At Herbie's Cannabis Seeds, we pride ourselves on bringing you the best quality seeds from the world's most respected cannabis seed producers, all at the lowest online prices. You can find Herbie's Seeds at herbiesheadshop.com. All cannabis seeds are sold as souvenirs and as a means of preserving cannabis genetics. Herbie's Seeds in no way intends to condone, promote, or incite the use of illegal or controlled substances. We strongly urge all prospective customers to check their national laws prior to placing an order. Herbie's Seeds at herbiesheadshop.com. Proud sponsors of the Russ Belville Show and 420 Radio.
NORML stands for Responsible Adult Cannabis Use. If cannabis use is causing problems in your life, consider taking a break or seeking medical assistance. Consider ceasing cannabis use if you have a family history of mental illness. Don't drive or operate heavy machinery while impaired by cannabis use. Cannabis use is not without risks, even though the risks may be far less than those posed by legal drugs.
Adam Hand of Handmade Apparel produces quality custom designs for t-shirts, hats, and other apparel. Handmade Apparel is the official design shop for 420 Radio among many clients who rely on Adam Hand for everything from short-run custom projects to full-run clothing lines. Visit handmadeapparel.biz to browse the selection of handmade gear or to get a personal quote for your own designs. Handmade Apparel, a proud supporter of 420radio.org.
All right, 53 after the hour here in Portland, Oregon, where it has indeed gotten very slick outside for the evening commute. As people are driving around, there is a nice sheen of frozen rain. See, we get freezing rain here. We don't get snow so much. We get rain that then, as it's falling from the sky, then turns into ice and then hits. It's not quite hail, though. It's very weird. We're like the Eskimo with snow. We have 50 different words for rain. Freezing rain is one of them. So it is getting slick out there. Hope everyone travels well. So promised you would bring you this video. Tommy Chong has been on Dancing with the Stars, and apparently he's made it to the semifinals. And it's the furthest anyone's gone in the competition at the age of 76. And dispelling many of the stereotypes about marijuana consumers, here's Tommy Chong with PETA doing the cha-cha.
All right. Keep the jab in his face, man. Jab. All right, give him one. All right, man. Good luck.
pimp's in the crib, ma. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. When the pigs try to get at you, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot, park it like it's hot. And if the get an attitude, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot, pop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Dawn and I roll the best, cause I got it going on. I'm a gangster, but y'all knew that. The big boss dog, yeah, I had to do that. Waiting on the bizzle, the dizzle, and the shizzle. Cheese to the bizzat. Now ladies, here we go. When the pimp's in the crib, ma. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. I got the rollie on my arm and I'm pouring Sean Dawn and I roll the best, cause I got it going on.
Tommy and Frida.
Tommy Chong shaking it up on Dancing with the Stars and doing a hell of a job. I also have to one of the reasons I can't watch the show either is because they have to do all those remade versions of songs, and to hear anyone but Snoop Dogg doing that and to have all the words cut out, can't stand it. Nevertheless, a lot of people love this show. It's one of the top shows on television, and one of the things that's most wonderful about Tommy Chong's appearance on this is that it's very, very popular with older folks. My mom and dad love this show. They watch it religiously. Dad's in his 70s, mom's in her late 60s. They love this show, as do all their peers. I think the guys watch it, the older men watch it because all the women are half naked out there on the dance floor. And I think the women watch it because they fantasize about this, wouldn't it be nice if we did ballroom dancing kind of thing. Regardless, a lot of older folks watch this, and in a post written on ladybud.com, great blog, you should check it out, just posted the link in our chat room, talks about how Tommy Chong on Dancing with the Stars is selling weed to my mom. And the quote here, Tommy Chong is in the semifinals. I think he's the oldest contestant to make it this far, my mother said breathlessly over the phone earlier this week. You'd never know he's a smoker. End quote. And she just points out that how mom is digging Tommy Chong up there and says people like my mother, who's very conservative, are one of the biggest demographics for the show, and they are sitting up and taking notice. A few weeks into the season, my mother called me to see if I was near the radio. She was listening to an interview of him talking about how he treated his cancer with cannabis oil. His cancer story, combined with his age, 76 years old, has apparently earned him a few votes from my mother along the way, although she wishes he'd stop with the weed references on the show. He escaped elimination, will get a decent percentage of votes, and every week that he stays on, he's subtly reinforcing the idea that marijuana users are a sizable voting bloc for Dancing with the Stars, and visually displaying the long-term effects of heavy cannabis use. Those who previously believed that marijuana kills brain cells or destroys the lungs are watching a notorious 76-year-old stoner dancing like he's as young of body as he is of heart. I can think of no better way to start changing otherwise unreachable people's minds about marijuana. If my mom's reaction to Tommy Chong's tenure on Dancing with the Stars is any indication of how others in her demographic are responding, his decision to participate in this reality show may prove to be an incredibly effective form of legalization activism. Good luck in the semifinals, Mr. Chong. Again, that's Vera Verde writing in ladybud.com. The link is in our chat room if you'd like to check out the entire article. We'll also share it through the 420 Radio Facebook and Twitter feeds. But for now, that's all the time we've got for today. 2 hours flies by real quick when we're talking about weed. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your perspective with us here in our chat room, in our comment section, and by calling into 420radio.org. If you can help support us, please do. We want to keep this channel free for everyone who wishes to listen and subscribe to it. And that means we need to ask those of you of greater means to contribute if you can. Just log on to 420radio.org/donate. You can make a one-time donation with your credit card or through PayPal, or you can sign up for a recurring VIP membership that gets you discounts in our 420 Radio shop and access to more posts on 420radio.org. For everyone here, I'm Radical Russ. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, take care of each other, Tokers.
Hey, 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 hey.
This is the Russ Belville Show. The Russ Belville Show is blogging and podcasting daily at radicalruss.com.
And stay tuned tonight for the funk. Coming up next, Big Daddy Fink's Funky Roller Rink. A solid hour of the best funk on the net.